You wake up one day and everything is more expensive. Food up, fuel up, rent up. But your income exactly the same. So you cut back, you budget harder. You treat responsible and somehow you're still falling behind. Now here's the part that doesn't make sense. While you're struggling just to keep up, someone else is getting rich. Fast. Like really fast, and it feels unfair. Because it is. Look, this isn't just happening today, this has happened before. On a massive scale. During war. Introduction: my name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money shifts during major global events. If you're someone who feels like the system changes overnight and you're always on the losing side of it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because what I'm about to show you will completely change how you see money, opportunity, and timing. Section 1. The myth about war and money. Here's the thing. When most people think about war, they think destruction, loss, economic collapse, and they're not wrong. Millions of people lose everything: homes, jobs, savings. But here's what most people don't realize: war doesn't just destroy wealth, it redistributes it violently. Section 2. The two economies during any major conflict. Two economies start to form, the visible one and the invisible one. The visible economy is what most people experience: higher prices, the job instability, shortages. But the invisible economy, that's where the money is moving: government contracts, industrial expansion, supply chain control, and that's where fortunes are made. Let's break this down in simple terms. During a large-scale war, governments spend trillions of dollars. For example, during World War III, the US government spent over $4 trillion adjusted for inflation. Now ask yourself, where does that money go? It doesn't just disappear. It goes to companies, manufacturers, suppliers, logistics firms. Swafurio, the receiving end of that spending. Your revenue explodes. This is where it gets really interesting, because some people didn't just get richer, they got rich fast. Factories that were barely surviving suddenly had more orders than they could handle. A company making $5 lakh a year could jump to $5 million almost overnight. That's a 10x increase, and when revenue scales that quickly, so does wealth. Now let's look at the other side. While companies are booming, regular people are struggling. Why? Inflation. When governments print money to fund war, prices rise. Let's say before the war, bread costs $1, fuel costs $2. After massive spending, bread is $2, fuel is $4, but your salary, maybe it goes up 10%. Prices doubled, your income barely moved effectively per. Here's what most people don't realize: inflation is a hidden tax. It doesn't show up on a bill, but it quietly eats your purchasing power. If you had $10,000 saved and inflation hits 10% per year after 3 years, your money feels like $7,300 in real value. You didn't lose money physically, but you lost what it can buy. Now let's talk about the mental side, because this is where people get trapped. When prices rise rapidly, people panic. They start making emotional decisions, stockpiling goods, overpaying out of fear, avoiding investment because it feels risky. But the pattern still exists. Any major global disruption, pandemics, economic crises, technological shifts creates the same effect. Money moves, some people adapt, others fall behind. Section 12. The real lesson. Harassed real lesson. It's not about war, it's about understanding how money behaves during disruption, because disruption creates opportunity, but only if you see it early. Section 13. What you should do. Alright, let's make this practical. Step 1. Pay attention to where money is flowing, not where it used to flow, where it's going now. Step 2. Build skills that align with growth industries, because that's where income increases. Step 3. Own assets, even small ones, because assets benefit from inflation. Cash doesn't. Step 4. Think long-term, because short-term fear kills long-term opportunity. Section 14. The hard truth. Look, you can't control global events, you can't stop inflation, you can't predict every crisis, but you can control how you respond, and that's what separates people who struggle from people who grow. Section 15. Final insight. This is where it all comes together. Massive wealth shifts don't happen randomly, they happen during chaos, and most people miss them because they're focused on surviving, not positioning. Final thought. You don't get rich by avoiding change, you get rich by understanding it, adapting to it, and positioning yourself before everyone else catches on. Call to action. So if this made you rethink how money actually moves, hit like, subscribe, and more importantly, start paying attention, because the next big shift is already happening, and the question is, will you be on the losing side or the one that benefits? Pause, end screen moment, fade out.